I almost died because a bitter old woman didn't want a delivery truck in her neighborhood. Let that sink in. Not a war zone, not a disaster, just a retirement community run by a control-obsessed HOA president who thought her clipboard gave her the right to decide who lives and who doesn't. It started one Saturday morning. I was sorting my weekly pill organizer, just like I'd done every weekend for the past 3 years. Except this time, the HeartMed slot was empty. I froze. My next dose was due in 2 hours, and missing it, well, last time that happened, I woke up in a hospital bed surrounded by machines, and a doctor saying, "Mr. Mason, next time might be the last time." I had promised my wife, June, I'd never be that careless again. And yet, there I was, staring at an empty bottle. We called the emergency pharmacy. They said they could get the meds to us in 90 minutes. Specialized medical vehicle. Refrigerated. Professional. I felt the tension lift until I remembered where I lived. Willow Heights. Beautiful name. Horrible reality. For 3 years, our HOA had been ruled with an iron fist on Margaret Langley, a retired insurance adjuster with a superiority complex the size of Texas. She had unilaterally banned all delivery vehicles from entering the neighborhood for safety. No exceptions, not even for medical emergencies. At 10:30 a.m., I watched from my window as the white medical truck rolled up to the security gate. One rode in, one rode out. Margaret had made sure of that. And sure enough, she was already there, like a sentry at the gates of Mordor, holding her sacred clipboard. I saw the driver get out and point to the refrigerated compartment, then to my house. I saw him pleading. Margaret didn't flinch. She pointed to a laminated sign. No commercial vehicles, no exceptions. And just like that, the truck backed away. I called 911. Thought surely someone could override this nonsense. But the dispatcher told me, "Sir, HOA policies apply. You'll need to retrieve it yourself." That was the moment I felt it. Tightness in my chest. Maybe stress. Maybe something worse. I pulled on my coat and started walking. 4 blocks, 1 step at a time, like I was hauling guilt on my back. Margaret saw me coming. That same cold, smug look I'd come to associate with her power trips. "Mr. Mason," she said, voice clipped, "my husband died in a delivery truck accident. I won't allow this neighborhood to be endangered again." I opened my mouth to argue. Then everything spun. My knees buckled. I don't remember falling, but I remember Frank, my 82-year-old neighbor, hobbling over with his walker, and June screaming my name. The driver handed me the meds just in time. Barely. Back home, I sat staring at the aerial map we'd gotten when we bought the house. I noticed something. Clearview Airstrip, just 2 miles away. A little green strip, forgotten and quiet. And then it hit me. The roads were hers. But the skeek? The sky belonged to me. That afternoon, Frank called. "They blocked my insulin truck too," he said. "Margaret said it's not urgent enough. I've been rationing. I don't think I'll make it through the week." His voice cracked. "I should probably call my daughter. Say goodbye." I stared at that map and said, "Don't make that call yet." The next day, I drove to Clearview and met Julian, ex-Air Force, now running a tiny flight school. I told him I wanted to learn. Fast. He raised an eyebrow. "You ever flown before?" "Used to be an engineer at Aerotech. I've designed planes, never flown one." "Then let's fix that." Learning to fly at 63 isn't glamorous. I crash-landed in a cornfield, once into a pond. June begged me to stop. "You're going to get yourself killed." I told her, "This isn't a midlife crisis, it's a midlife mission." I designed a drop pod with GPS and a parachute. First run, insulin for Frank. I circled his backyard at 200 feet, released. Perfect landing. He came outside in pajamas, waving like a kid seeing Santa. After that, things escalated fast. Jennifer across the street asked for baby formula. Dot needed oxygen tanks. I color-coded the drop pods. We turned deliveries into something more. People came outside just to watch. Kids cheered. It felt good. Margaret, of course, didn't like that. She called the FAA, sheriff, local news, filed complaints, claimed I was running a commercial air service. One morning, she stood outside with binoculars and a walkie-talkie, like she was tracking enemy fighters. When she showed up at my doorstep, phone camera rolling, yelling about illegal air operations, I handed her my flight logs, my exemption paperwork, my safety protocols. FAA rules don't cover ultralights the way she hoped. For once, the law wasn't on her side, but she wasn't done. One morning, I found my aircraft's cable slashed, fuel tank contaminated, note taped to the windshield. Final warning. My cameras had been spray painted. Whoever did it knew what they were doing. Julian took one look and said, "This wasn't vandalism. This was attempted murder." We reported it, of course. Police opened an investigation. But Margaret? She doubled down. Announced a new HOA vote. Ban all aerial deliveries. Called a community meeting. Her living room looked like a courtroom. Podium, chairs in rows, camera in the corner. She gave a speech, tearful, emotional. My husband died because of a delivery truck. I won't lose anyone else. When someone asked about medical exceptions, she cut them off. Safety has no loopholes. That's when I realized this wasn't about grief anymore. This was control. Absolute, obsessive control. After that, we leveled up. Julian brought in 2 vet friends. One flew medevacs in Iraq. Another ran supply chains in Afghanistan. We coordinated routes, built backup planes. June became our logistics queen, tracking drops, scheduling missions, even monitoring weather. People joked we had our own Air Force. They weren't wrong. Then came Thanksgiving. We planned a mass drop, full turkey dinners, over 200 homes. News crews were coming. Kids were waiting in yards. That morning, the weather was perfect. Clear skies, 0 wind, and then chaos. Julian's plane was missing, stolen. Security footage showed Margaret breaking into the hangar. No pilot license, no training. But she took off, headed straight for the community center. I was already airborne. When I spotted her plane, erratic, fast, low, I knew something was wrong. I radioed, "Margaret, land now. You'll kill someone." Her voice came through, crackling, unhinged. "You took everything from me. If I can't control it, no one can." She was diving toward the crowd. I moved to intercept. Our wings nearly clipped. I managed to bump her path just enough to send us both spinning. We crash-landed in a field. I survived with bruises. Margaret broke her arm, but she lived. She was arrested on the spot. Charges: theft, endangerment, interference with aircraft operations, and later, embezzlement. Turns out she'd been using HOA funds to pay her nephew for fake security work. The delivery ban? Just a cover to keep eyes off her contracts. After that, everything changed. The new HOA president dismantled the surveillance network. Our delivery fleet got community funding. We served 5 neighborhoods by spring. 1 year later, I got a letter. Handwritten. I thought control would protect people, but I became the danger instead. Thank you for showing me the power of compassion. And that, I guess, is the real story. A community saved by a few stubborn people, an aircraft, and a refusal to accept that dying quietly was the only option. So, who really kept us safe?